You're watching Drake Wing Gaming. Enjoy the video. Hey guys, Nara here from Drake Wing Gaming. As you can see, we are covering a new Let's Play visual novel today. We are doing Heroes Advent. Now, I've been kind of looking at this one for a little while. I've kind of figured I've been playing a little too many fantasy VNs lately, but you know what? The artwork style in this one really caught my attention, and hell, I downloaded it, so let's see what it's all about, shall we? Alright guys, stick with me for the next 20 minutes and let's jump right in and see exactly what Heroes Advent has to offer. Alright, start. Alrighty, what do we got? This game contains mature content, yes. Here's evidence still in early development, yes. Yes. Be like Ed Dennis and Charlie. Be the yes man. Yes! Yes! You begin to trip over your feet as you're continued down the seemingly endless stone corridor at top speed. This is pretty cool. I like this little text bar. You begin to... It was chasing you again tonight. You weren't sure what it was, but its overbearing presence had become a familiarity to you. To your right, the windows flashed by, showing some snapshots of a quickly decaying world. It was no safer out there than it was inside. A quick breeze runs across your skin as if whatever it was had swiped at you. The hairs on the back of your neck rise in terror. That was new. It hadn't tried to make a grab at you. It had definitely gotten closer. You'd never looked behind you to confirm it. You just knew it was always behind you and it was always in pursuit. Grrr! I can't do a monster sound, come on. A low growl calls from behind you, commanding in a gruff voice that weighs you down, slowing your pace as you hear it mutter. You hear your name on its breath. Fuck. What name? Cassian. Cassian, okay. Cassian, stop! You, Cassian! You stopped running, compelled to listen closer to this thing's call. Despite being ripe for the picking, it maintains its distance. It had stopped chasing you, but you were sure it was still there. Cassian! It calls your name again. It stopped chasing you. You decide to turn to respond. You turn around completely to face your relentless pursuer, expecting either nothing but air or some lumbering nightmare creature that would explain its oppressive presence. To your surprise, it was neither. Only a short distance across before you was a tattered cloak fluttering where it stood. You eyed it for another moment as it remained suspended in midair. You almost breathed a sigh of relief before realizing there was indeed someone or something beneath the cloak. Who are you? Your voice is cut short, intimidated as you felt the piercing gaze beneath the cloaked hood. The figure beneath said nothing, locking eyes, or where you supposed its eyes would be. Why are you following me? It remained unresponsive. You take a tentative step towards it, your curiosity now outweighing your fear, intrigued to see for the first time what had been haunting you night after night. It remained there, looming but unmoving, save for the fluttering cloak outlining its figure. You reach out for the hem of the fluttering cloak to pull it off the figure, only to have something tightening around your wrist firmly. Gah! Gah! You recoil, trying to pull yourself free from its grasp that held you in place. You can only writhe in pain as you try in vain to escape. The more you struggle, the deeper the pain dug into your flesh. As sudden as it began, you were propelled backward onto the ground. Whatever the thing was, it had released your hand, but even still, the pain only intensified. Clawing at the burning sensation, you flinched as sharp, serrated edges scraped your fingers, blood pouring around them. The dark fragments glistened with your blood, like glass shoved against your palm, and somehow they continued to spread. From your wrist it spreads quickly outwards to your fingers, then up the length of your arm before ultimately engulfing your head. You didn't have a chance to scream by the time it had reached your throat. The figure remained where it was, the head tilted down to watch you with its unseen eyes. It was the last thing you could see before the black shards completely covered up your eye sockets. Be corrupt. Turn. Ah! You wake up screaming in a cold sweat, opening your eyes to the darkness. Whoa! Whoa! What is it? The familiar voice shakes you from your waking nightmare as the bright flash of light illuminates the room. You winced at being blinded by the light. It took you a few moments to regain your bearings to find yourself back in your apartment bedroom. You breathed a sigh of relief. Was it that dream again? Yeah, Carl. It was the same dream. Carl, huh? You shuddered, wiping away the sweat from your head. I think it got closer to me this time. It actually touched me. Your hand instinctively reached for your wrist, not a single cut or bruise on it. This has been going on for a month now, hasn't it? Why don't you go see a doctor about it? He was right. The dreams had been plaguing you every night for the past month that it was starting to cut into your waking life. Your job and academic performances had begun to slip, which was all the more reason you couldn't stop now. Your body sobers up as you heaved a heavy sigh. Yeah, no, we can't afford that right now. We're barely scraping by on rent between classes already, right? I'll be alright. I just need some time. If you say so. You saw Carl reaching over to switch off the lights, but decided to leave it on for the time being. You lay back down, snuggling against your pillow to try to get back to sleep to no avail. Every time you close your eyes, you see the dark halls again, and the incapacitating rigidity in your arms. You know, I've been having trouble sleeping too. You turn to the bed on the opposite side of the room. Carl laid there, staring toward the ceiling. Oh yeah? Yeah, I've just been thinking a lot lately. About the future, like, what to do after college. Maybe I'd aim for a job that pays well. Trying to save up to afford my own things. Maybe start a family someday. You give a mocking scoff as you both laugh at the notion. Ha! Wishful thinking, I know. What about you? Me? Well, what do I do after college? Go back. Go back home? You repeat the words you hear whispered into your ear. Where did that come from? Go back, huh? What? If Carl didn't say that, then you sighed. Your mind's be playing tricks on you. The lack of sleep was definitely getting to you. I mean, yeah, we should pay Pops a visit sometime. Been a while since we left him back at the orphanage. You're right. I kind of wonder how he's doing these days, or if he misses us at all. He didn't say much the day we left. Ha! Old Codger should be fine. You know how he is. He chuckled. Pops was what you used to call the old caretaker at the orphanage you both came from. The two of you go silent as there is a lull in the conversation. The silence of the night fills the room as you lay with your eyes open. You start to wonder if you're ever going to get back to sleep when Carl speaks up again. Now that I think about it, the reason I'm losing sleep is also about home. Wait, you're having nightmares too? I think nothing as intense in yours, but it's been keeping me up for a while. Got me thinking about how I ended up there, and how we got here. Pops told me that my parents died in a car crash. I was too young to know what was going on. I still have dreams about that day, that huge-ass truck from the side window. I'm sorry, Carl, I didn't... Yeah, it's rough, but we just have to face it and move on, as they say. Silence takes over again as your mind wanders. Thinking on it further, you weren't sure about your future as much as your past. Well, Pop said he found me crying on the front porch one night. There was no sign of my parents or whoever left me there. He just tried to ask around for a while, but eventually he gave up. I see. Hey, maybe one day you can finally meet them again. Who knows? Maybe, yeah. You looked through the window. It was still dark outside. You decided to hop out of bed and put on your strolling shoes. Going somewhere? Uh-huh. I think I'm gonna head for a walk. You coming? Yeah, nah. Unlike you, I have a class at like 7 tomorrow. I'm going back to sleep. All right. Good night, Carl. Yeah. Oh, right. Cassian? Huh? Take it easy, okay? Things are only gonna get tougher next term. Better make the most out of your vacation. Yeah, thanks, Carl. I'll see you tomorrow. You could hear your friend flipping off the light as you closed the apartment door and headed down the streets. You step outside of your apartment, throwing the top of your hoodie over your head. The weather wasn't particularly cold, but it never hurt to have it on. Your legs immediately take you in the direction of a small park not far from the residential district. You've long discarded the thoughts about the nightmare now that you're inside. Now that you're outside. They've always faded rather quickly when you left for classes either way. Your eyes glazed over as you went into autopilot, turning the running trail and following it through, now surrounded by a comforting darkness dimly lit by streetlights. As the last traces of the nightmare faded, your mind turned back to the conversation you just had with Carl, and the odd voice that whispered into your ear. Go back. Go back where, though? The farthest back you can think to remember were the days at the orphanage. That was the closest thing you had to a home. Maybe I should go back home. Maybe these dreams have been a sign. Carl's right. Things will only get harder from here on out. No point in buckling just yet. We've got the next month off, too. Maybe we should get a bus back and see how our old man is holding up. Take a break from all this. Huh? You rubbed your eyes. Your sight seemed to be getting darker. Maybe sleep is already trying to overtake you. With a sigh, you decided to turn back. You headed along the path you took back to the main street, but as you went further, everything seemed to get even darker. What on earth? Don't tell me my eyes are going bad, too. Staring directly at the lampposts that offered you light didn't help. You had to squint to see the specks of yellow light. Probably shouldn't have stayed up all night. Not that the nightmares helped. You sighed as a wry smile crossed your lips. Oh, on those sleepless nights. Aside from catching up on assignments, you had often found yourself mindlessly browsing those furry forums, role-playing or otherwise. Oh my god, is this one of those games where you start off as human, but then you turn into a furry? Oh my lord. It's been a small comfort to you all these years, something you and Carl used to bond over. The diverse characters and the range of products made from all sorts of craftsmen, from artworks to animations to stories and figurines, you've collected quite a few of them as memorabilia, now tucked away in a drawer. Your smile faltered as reality came sweeping back. It was something you used to bond over before you both moved to the city to attend college. Ever since things began to get harder with higher education, Carl began to distance himself from the hobby. He'd already sold off any piece from his collection that you hadn't the heart to accept from him. He still enjoyed the medium with you, just not as much as the heyday of your friendship. It never created a rift between you, but without him there, it felt isolating again, despite the many other people you had interacted with online. For the moment, you could only feel anger festering from within. Your throat felt parched from frustration as you screamed from the top of your lungs. And yet the cry you expected was not there. Somehow you could not hear yourself breathe either. You stopped yourself while frantically looking around. Did you get so lost in thought that you'd wandered too far? The area was pitch black, the night sound drowned out by a deafening silence. No light from the stars or city skyline. The ground beneath you began to turn as you felt your feet pulled from under you. You couldn't even hear yourself scream as you fell weightlessly into the ground. Oh no, it's the vortex! You braced for impact. Nothing. You strained your eyes, trying to make sense of anything. You seemed to be falling in place, just like how it was in those many nightmares. You attempted to scream louder as panic set in, only amounting to hollow squeaks as your arms failed desperately in search of something to latch onto. Your wrist began to burn in the same place that creature had grabbed you once before. You couldn't see what it was, but it definitely felt all the same. This disguise. You won't fool others any longer. First came the pinpricks, sharp jabs in your skin as if something was extracted from it. The sensation expanded to your hand, palm caked in dried skin and nails seemingly pulled out of your fingers. You desperately clawed at whatever was happening to you, scratching at the frayed strands of hair on your arm as it extended upward. You only stop when you feel a sharp claw dig into your arm. You recoiled in fear before quickly realizing it was your own hand clawing at you. Your other arm began to alter as well. Your shoes began to feel unbearably tight as your feet seemed to bloat and expand, your bones cracking and breaking, masked beneath the further stabbing extrusion from your skin filling in. Your struggling ends with you curling into yourself, legs pressed inward, arms wrapped around you as burning sensation burst forth from your torso, and agonizing pain as your heart beat erratically. A burning sensation in your loins caused your eyes to snap open as your hips and genitals twisted and contorted into new forms before returning into your body. You dug your claws into your sides, biting your lips as unimaginable pain washed over your back, rapidly climbing along your spine up to your neck. At last you found your voice. You heard your screams of agony as you felt your skull crushed and stretched into painful shapes. Your scalp itches as the skin is stretched upward like soft flesh horns. The suffering felt unending. Eventually a terrifying jolt shot through your spine towards your lower back, where bones and tissue seemed to poke outward. Good, a worthy vessel. Now, come to me, child. You shall be my champion. Welcome back, champion. Props to those who get that reference. The voice barely registered through the pain as a rush of air plunged you further into the abyss. You didn't care what it was or where it was taking you. You were sure that it would be to your death, your head deformed and body trembling in shock. Come to me. Come to me. There was a crack in the darkness. A different voice whispered into your ears this time. Crack, crack, crack! A rift began to break amid the void as heavenly light pierced through the abyss. Its blinding radiance left you dazed, and you felt something pulling you towards it. Guided by the echoing call of this new voice, you mustered what little left of your strength to reach for it. A light overtook your vision, a loud crackle filled your ears. For the first time in forever, you felt something other than pain. You felt the weight seemingly lifted as a warm breeze enveloped your form. You felt free. You must be in heaven now, though everything felt heavy again as the blinding light dwindled. Oof. You take a breather there for a moment. Oh, man. You felt like crap. Chest heaving and brain fried from everything that just happened. You were lying against solid ground. The faint green shade at the corner of your eyes reminded you of the forest park you were in, but something felt different. It was still too hard to see anything under the blurry lights shimmering in the distance. Hello there, people. Or maybe that's me. It's a bun. Bun. Oh, thank goodness I managed to find you! A brown elongated blur enters your field of vision. You can barely make out the shape of the person standing above you. After squinting for a moment, you can make out the shape of a woman, a bunny woman, like those in the drawings you had seen. You weakly reach a hand out to her. She takes it into her warm, furry ones. You hiss, the slightest contact reigniting your wounds. Are you real? You barely muttered with what strength you have left. If this really is heaven, then she must be an angel sent from the world beyond to guide your soul through. As real as I can get, dear, she cooed, easing your hand back down at your reaction. That's so cool. That's so cool. Oh, what a reaction. You could only think of those words when your vision darkened entirely, head slamming against the ground. Uh-oh. Ah, wake up, Cassian. Oh, whoa, man, that is a nice cabin. Oh, that looks lovely and comfy and cozy and... Oh, my God, making me sleepy just looking at it. You sprung up in bed, looking around yourself before breathing a sigh of relief. It was one hell of a bad dream, but the darkness was finally gone and morning had arrived. You finally made it through. You haphazardly tossed the covers off and hopped out of bed, ready to tackle the day ahead, only to feel your legs twisting as you fell back against the pillow. Ow, my head! You didn't feel it at first, but your legs were still rather sore, and your head was spinning from vertigo. Oh, so good to see you're awake. You've had me dreadfully worried. You turned up to see who the feminine voice belonged to. It wasn't common for girls to show up in your apartment. No, it's not your apartment now, is it? Now, take it easy there, dear. You had a rather nasty fall. What? It's a good thing I happened by you in the forest. You stared in awe at what was before you now. It was the same bunny woman you had seen in a dream before. You shook your head in disbelief. You must be dreaming still, and if that were the case, you must have been lucid dreaming all along. Looking down at yourself, you noticed your hands were also paws now. Not quite what you imagined your persona having, but anything goes in dreams. You can't possibly pass up this opportunity. I think random... Oh, God, that's... No, no sexual assault. Or, I don't know, maybe just like a hug. I don't know, it seems kind of odd given his reaction. No, we're just going to admire. You weren't quite sure what you would even do. Just being able to see a real furry up close was more than you could ever imagine, or even dream of for that matter. Whoa, she's so beautiful. You must immediately covered your mouth in fear of having blurted out something offensive. If dreams have ever taught you anything, it's that things tend to go bad and spiral out of control very quickly. What a terrible thing to a woman to say my age. And my one so young, too. Oh, she's a mommy bunny. Oh, my God. Ada. Though the bunny lady only chuckled as she said, teasing, oh, yeah. You can definitely see it in the chest area. Yeah, Jesus Christ. She's like a Toriel, but a bunny. Huh? That wasn't quite what you expected, but if she reacted that way, then... Ah! So it wasn't a dream! Existential dread started to sink in as you realized that all the darkness you witnessed and all the horrifying pain you endured was real, as well as the new additions to your anatomy here. You stared down at your hands as your fur stood on end when you realized that you now instead had those clawed paws for hands. You were still convinced you were just seeing things until after you've moved them around a bit. The one before you quickly reached for your paw hands, gripping them tightly. What happened to me? Where am I? Who are you? You yelped. Your head was starting to spin again as the flood of information rendered you nauseous. It's okay. You will not come to harm here. What's going on? What did you do to me? Help! Someone help! I've been kidnapped! Okay, I think I've calmed down now. So that is how things are. That certainly is a peculiar set of circumstances. Yeah, I don't know where I am, how I got here, how I even became like this. You motioned to your new body. This must be quite a lot for you to take in, to have your body altered so drastically. That must feel rather unfamiliar. You tested moving your limbs. It's definitely different from your human body, but there were still enough similarities to at least get a grasp on it. Actually, it's not all that different from what I used to be. I could get used to this. You jumped a bit at the jarring feeling of your fluffy tail patting and brushing against your back. Well, mostly. The bunny woman gave you a concerned look as she handed you a bowl of water. Well, dear, if you have somewhere else to go, you may stay here with me. If you have nowhere else to go, you may stay here with me, at least until we could find a way to get you back to your home. She gave you a sincere smile. Thank you, I'd appreciate it. I don't know what else to do at this point. You took a sip from the water, catching a glimpse of your reflection in it. What is it? Oh, her name is Alyssa. Okay, I'm gonna pause it right there. I love the art in this. Character designs are really cool, too. I think I'm gonna enjoy this. Oh, man. I have a good feeling this is gonna be another great adventure we're gonna go on. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and ring that notification bell. Leave a super thanks if you can. It always helps. This has been an episode of Heroes Advent. Many more to come. I love you all. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye!